Well, hello there. It has most definitely been a long time since I've done a long YouTube video. Just because timing in my final year has allowed YouTube Shorts to be for me. Oh, what am I trying to say? Because of my limited timing in this final year, YouTube Shorts has allowed me to still be creative and do YouTube videos without having to use so much time doing that. But anywho, I thought I'd come on here and speak because I feel like what I want to say is too long for a YouTube short. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but like stripped down these days because it's most definitely exam season. But today was kind of over now. It's just before 5 p.m. My last day at my current placement. We always end placement before the big exam season. And honestly, like I have been so stressed and so overwhelmed with prepping for my exam. You've got the clinical exam, which is like the ultimate speech and language therapy exam, as well as other exams and a dissertation. And there's so much in my head, most of the day I'm not in the mood to talk to anyone. Yesterday, my brother said something so funny, and I must have gone. I went to a book launch of a book called A Vision in the Margin, which is actually a book about the lack of diversity within speech and language therapy. It was so fascinating and so inspiring and such an eye-opener. But I was feeling quite good last night and I came home and I was in more of a talking mood. And then my brother was like, let's catch up today because you're talking today. I tell you, the other day I literally come home, go straight into the room, sleep or try to sleep, and then wake up, go straight out of the house, go to the library because I have no social energy. I have no energy. As bad as it sounds, I have no energy to care about anything else. I'm not saying that I don't care, but it's almost like I can't because my mind is so full of. Anywho, I'm digressing a lot. Today, my last day of placement, and I was just kind of stressed because I was thinking about all other things, exams and dissertation and uni. But I'm so thankful to God and just so thankful and grateful in general of this placement. It has not been an easy one. And when I say that, I don't mean that it's been bad. But for me, I wanted a place where it's like, okay, just sort of breeze through it. This was not a place where I could just breeze through it and do like the minimum. And I feel like I have this narrative in my head where I think I don't work hard when I think it's really just up to I'm coming to learn that. But so for me, it's always like, oh my gosh, there's work to do. But this placement, it was a hands-on placement. That's what I'm trying to say. And my time management was always the best for other uni works. I often find myself having to do things last minute, and there were multiple weeks when I would kind of just like dread placement, and not because I didn't like it, but it's almost when you're tired and the idea of waking up early and blah blah blah. And really and truly, I actually had it quite easy. I was working from home most of the time, so it wasn't like I had to wake up at 6. But just when you're not strong, then you have to carry something heavy. When I wasn't fully there mentally, and then it's like, oh, I have to work. But this placement has been so, I could even say, life-changing. It's been such a significant and fundamental part of my journey, not just to become a speech and language therapist, but of my journey as a speech and language therapist. One thing I just told my PE, which is basically my manager on placement, is that it's only towards like the end of this placement where I've really started to see myself as a speech and language therapist. I know I'm like a couple of months away from qualifying, but I consider myself now a speech and language therapist. And prior to this placement, I didn't. Like, I had placement and it taught me things and it was good and it helped me to imagine the future. But I never would have just called myself, yeah, I'm an SaLT, like in my head when talking to myself. But now I do. I've had these, practicing assessments and putting interventions together and doing research and just a number of different things. And as much as, you know, I think about the future months and how I'm going to start working, and a part of me is like, am I ready? The thing that makes me think, am I ready, is the fact that there was so much content given in the course. And, you know, most of the time I just like learn the content so that I could do the assignment and do the exam just because I needed to survive. And then actually I've forgotten some stuff, and it's like, oh, can I go into this field if I don't know the information? Like they're going to be expecting me to know the information. So that's a part of me that's like, am I ready? But in terms of the skills, meeting a new client, brainstorming, okay, let's do an intervention plan. In terms of that stuff, when I tell you, that's what I do, baby. And it's like, you know, things haven't been perfect. There is no perfect thing. There was even a loss in my family whilst on this placement. But first of all, they were just all amazing. And that's another thing. The clients, oh my days. Oh my days. I just feel so lucky to have been able to cross paths with these people, with everyone involved in my client, from my PE to every single client that I worked with. I feel so lucky that I was like, oh my gosh, I was a part of their life. And a part of me is even like, I'm really gonna miss them. Like, I'm genuinely gonna miss them. It's hard because I worked with kids and I loved working with kids, and I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to have fun with the kids. Like, I know how to communicate with them, can make things fun. And when I tell you, I was anti working with adults before. The science, there's different things of the brain, and I said, that's not for me. But now it's like, oh my gosh, this might be for me. This might be for me. It really might. The thought of not being able to do adult work again is kind of like, but I also know that my placement was very unique in the sense that I got to spend time with these clients. My PE, it's like a clinical practice thing. I know when you work in the NHS, maybe you don't, like, these people are basically, I was working for 6 months, and you don't really stay with an SaLT for 6 months in the NHS. So not that I'm aware of. But it tends to be like a faster moving thing. But even if it's just like 6 weeks, I feel like it would still, I mean, in some sense it might be better because it would be harder for me to become emotionally attached. So it won't hurt as much when saying goodbye. But I don't know. I love the fact that I was involved. And then seeing their progress, oh my gosh. I tell you, things would happen. And I'm like, how are we not jumping up and down at the fact that you just did that? I would be so happy internally. And it would make my day and make my weekend. I just, and then on the screen, everyone's like somewhat calm. I'm just like, I know I'm dramatic, but can we just, I've loved it. And I'm laughing because when I tell you there's been weeks when I've been dreading the next day, I was like, oh, I have placement. And I think back and I'm like, what exactly was I dreading? I don't know. I couldn't tell you the answer. But I think it was just, do you know what it was? I was forced outside of my comfort zone. That's what it was. And I wasn't used to that discomfort. But I am like, there is no other placement. I needed to be here in this time. Your girl grew, and even as I said goodbye to like my PE and my clients, one thing that was coming across the board was that you could just see that I'm more comfortable in myself, that I'm more confident, that the growth has been immense. It really touched me. It really did. Like, it really did. And I was talking to my PE and I was like, I've not really expressed crazy emotions on my placement. I mean, I never really do outside of home. But y'all, I could have started crying. The tears were building up in there. No, I'm so thankful. And my PE is someone, she's like on job. I think that's what scared me a little bit. But that on job like pushed me into being on job too. And turns out your girl is on job. Okay, don't get it twisted. She is on job. Got the brains, and it's not even no, it's not just the brains. It's the hard work. It's the, I want to say consistency, but it's putting in the effort. I bring effort to the table, baby. And then being able to mix that with like doing different research, just being innovative, and your girl is very innovative. And I was like creating novel intervention plans. And the let's not talk about today. Today, so I had to do there was a new bilingual client that has just come onto my PE caseload, and they are bilingual French English. And hello, although it really made me realize maybe I'm a fake French. Well, I mean, I'm not French, but maybe I'm a fake francophone, because there were times when I was like, oh my days, did I pronounce it right? And oh my days, I don't even know what that means. But I basically did a bunch of research and then put together an assessment that would allow us to see him, not just the English, but see both languages. And I was nervous, and there was so much work behind the scenes, and a part of me was like, it's really exam season and I'm here. But I'm so thankful. That got me geeked out. Like, y'all know that I'm a language geek. That was like next level. And the fact is, bilingualism within aphasia, there's not a lot of research. Like, there's not a lot of research. Already, speech and language therapy is a fairly new field, so research is somewhat, it's not as high. But then you look at aphasia, and then you look at bilingualism within aphasia, because aphasia is quite research, I would say. But bilingualism within aphasia, and then yesterday at the talk, it was even mentioned that like in terms of diversity in SLT, like SLT working with kids is somewhat better than working with adults. And I'm like, God, are you taking me into a place where there's not allowed me? It's one thing I said to my PE, that this placement has definitely confused, because before I was so set on, I'm going to work in a school. I'm not working in a hospital. To be fair, I'm not experienced in a hospital yet. I don't know if I like it or hate it, but it was kids, not adults. And now I'm like, oh my days, I don't know if I can just look away. But after today's assessment is like, sorry, I don't know if that was a squirrel or a fox, but the animal moved quickly. After today's assessment, it's almost like, no, there's like a new part of my brain that's just ding, 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 ding. It's been excited, it's been awoken. I was in the assessment, and afterwards, when I was writing the findings from the assessment and what this could mean, I said, oh my gosh, like it's new stuff. Yeah, it's new stuff. That part scares me, because it's like, if I go into research there, where do I even begin? Because I can describe things, but okay, what does that mean? Like, no one's given me the answer. And that's kind of scary. But I'm in the assessment, and it's come to an end, and then I'm discussing findings, and it's like, this is my last day, so I'm going. But there's a big part of me that's like, I want to stay on. I need to see what comes next. And I've been saying that I've been finding research really interested, and I thought, okay, I could maybe research in this area and that area. And my dissertation like struggle was making me think maybe research is not for you, girl. But I'm like, oh, I want to say I feel so alive. I don't know. It's like I'm confused. Not necessarily by the way. I'm confused in the sense that I don't know where your girl is gonna be next. I really wanted a break from like after the degree, because there's been moments where I feel like I felt, and I know I like, no, I'm not even saying that, because I'm incredibly privileged, and yes, it's been hard, and sometimes it's like it's almost felt like an academic trauma, but I'm an extremely privileged place, and I don't want to use that word, because I don't know, I feel like yeah. But what was I even saying? This is when my mind is like bing 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 bing. There's so many things going on, like in an exciting way, which we thank God for, because there's been so many things going on in a stressful way. But what was I saying? Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, I applied for a volunteering trip that I really want to go. My uni holds it, or they tell you about it. But it's going abroad in Cambodia, 3 months, and I really want to go. I really just want to break into something completely new. Didn't get accepted. Was quite heartbroken. Is quite heartbroken. I'm recovering. And I was like, does that mean I'm going straight to work? Like, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't want to start work burnt out. But yeah, I feel like, am I ready to work? I feel like there's so much excitement in me right now. Wow. It really was ordained for me to go into speech and language therapy. God. And do you know, it would be so funny if one day I'm looking back at this video and I've got like this whole career built around adults in SLT, maybe even aphasia. No, do you know what is so funny? I was watching my YouTube video from 4 years ago where it's like the rant of a final year student says in my undergrad, and I was saying how I found linguistics really interesting, and what I said was like things like aphasia. I found that particularly interesting, and I completely forgot how when I was like back in my undergrad, it was things like aphasia that really piqued my interest. And then coming into this course, I was like, nah, not really adults. It's more the kids, I don't know, just stuff that I was seeing as a teen. Oh my days! Now that I'm talking, so many things are kind of making sense. Yeah, I gotta pray about this. Because one thing about me, A, I don't want to make the wrong decision, but B, no, I'm believing I will not make the wrong decision because I'm a big guided by the Holy Spirit. And I always pray, if I'm ever in the wrong space, and God, you come and you redirect. The fact that me is so dramatic just tells you how much of a good space I'm in. There's a super long video. Can't be bothered to edit it. I feel like it's gonna go straight like that. And also, my laptop, I don't know what's going on with you, but it's having like storage issues to the point I can't even save a Word document. We just thank God that I was able to save all my disso things onto like my OneDrive, my uni OneDrive. So I've been working off the internet. I said we'll not bring technology problems into this, but let me just upload it straight from my phone. I'm so thankful. Like, I'm so thankful to have crossed paths with these people and just have this opportunity and placement of such growth. Oh, my brother's calling me, but I don't want to cut the video. I'm nearly finished. I don't want to cut the finish. I'm sorry. Go back. Yeah, and you know what? It's true. One thing my therapist said is that in placement, you don't always get the opportunity to do a lot of therapy. I've heard people where it's like there's quite a bit of shadowing, but I've been so hands-on, and I feel like that's what's exciting me in my SLT work. I want to make sure I'm hands-on with the clients, if that's helping them with their families, like whatever that may be. Oh damn, it's like there's new paths, new ventures that have suddenly be opened. So when I thought it was like this, it's like, no, I could go down here, I could go down here. I'll go down one of them obviously, but right now I don't know where that is. But you know what, I ain't stressing out about that. I have prospects, options, and then sometimes options can be scary, yes, but I'm always believing that God will guide me down the right one. Holy Spirit, you take control. Can you take control? And do you know what? I thank God that He always hears me, but He doesn't always listen. And there's a difference between hearing and listening. Because if He listened to me every time when I was like, I don't want to do this, I don't want placement tomorrow, I don't want the face-to-face, because the flesh part of me, she kind of weak. I'm always running away from things, scary things are scary. But then God would come and push me and be like, no, baby girl, you go in there. Imagine if He listened every time and I was like, oh, I don't want face-to-face. Or the couple of face-to-face days that I had, there was only two. Especially the second one, if you listen to me, then the amazing things that I got to experience, I would not have experienced. Anyways, this is a monologue, maybe more than that. It's church praise tonight. I don't actually know if I'm gonna make it because what 8 I was chatting here for 20 minutes, but placement finished quite long. I haven't finished the notes, but I'm gonna finish it tonight. And I've been stressing out about this revision, that revision. Listen, Rose, I'm saying this here. The clinical exam is gonna go well. I know you're aiming for that thing, for that number and above. Like God's grace we can get, but the clinical exam will be fine. The audiology and deafness exam will be fine. Summer placement will be great. 1 second, and you're gonna be an amazing SLT. And everything in life is gonna be good. I know things sometimes like, oh my gosh, how this, what? Go just breathe. If you can't control it, stop trying to control it. But yeah, you're in a good space. You're hardworking. You care. You feel emotions deeply. Yes, I know that can be heavy sometimes, but it also allows you to feel the beautiful things of life deeply. But anyways, let me actually go. Thanks for listening.